Hey everyone, good morning. I'm still getting over this flu that I have. I'm much better now, but it's still not gone completely. And I'm just making my appeal that if you know anyone hiring project managers, project coordinators, any work really, please put my name forward. I know I've been advised to go into receivership and to go into bankruptcy. And, I've talked to my cousin about it, but unfortunately, that is also not an option because then where do I go? After I claim bankruptcy, where do I go and where do I live? I was in the same position when I sold my place at Rosewell Gardens. My place wasn't selling, and my mom didn't have any money to help me and to help our family. So I had turned to my uncles and they refused to help. They said they can't help. They've done everything they can. So, I went and I registered. There was an office for subsidized housing where Marco Mendocino's office used to be. I went there and there was a black lady there and she said to me, "But you're part of the Indian community. Can't they take you in?" I said to her, "I've tried." She's like, "Don't you have family? Don't you have family that you can move in with?" I said to her, "No, I don't. I have asked people, I've asked friends, I've asked family. I've even asked people if I can sleep on their couch, and nobody's willing to help me." At the church, my parish priest had put up a notice for me, and I had asked for a room in a house. I was willing to pay to rent a room in a house, and nobody was willing to help. So she was horrified. She said to me, "I can take your details and I can give you the form, but there's a 3-year waiting list because things are very, very bad." And so I filled out that form and everything. But luckily and fortunately for me, I had found my realtor, Paul J. and then he sold my place. So then I tried again. Still, nobody would take me. "You don't have a job. You're not working. We don't know what's going to happen to you. You better get on with your life." So Paul helped me to get into this building that I'm in, where I'm renting. And I've been here for 8 years. And, without a job, it's very hard. So I'm not somebody who has refused work. I've applied for work in retail. I've applied for work anything. I've applied in restaurants. When Sephora opened, I applied with them, and I'm just not getting anything. So after 2 years, Teleperformance has not called me back. I do go online and apply. I've applied at all the banks because I know the banks always look for executive assistants and they look for project coordinators. So I've applied to all of them. And I just want to be clear that when I left TD all those years ago, they didn't have a position for me. I was very well liked, very highly respected, and the team was sad to see me go, but unfortunately, they didn't have anything. So I've met people. The South African Consulate General introduced me to James Newlands at EY. He's the head of the Americas. And he introduced me to Charles Mafu, who runs the Toronto division for HR and some of the consulting divisions. And he also couldn't get me in. So I don't know what people expect me to do. When I come to organizations so highly respected and so highly qualified, and people can't get me into even a basic job paying over 50,000, I mean, it doesn't say much to me about Canada, because these are not people who are nobodies. They're not people who are coming into New York or Toronto, not having experience, not having the know-how to judge whether I would be a good worker or not. And for my university, for WITS, it's very insulting at how I'm being treated, because they get the news. If I join a call from here that WITS is having, they don't hide it. you'll hear Professor Lynn Morris talking and saying she was doing very well. We just don't understand what the problem is. Because every time there's cutbacks and layoffs, instead of them keeping her, promoting her, retaining her, they let her go. When she asks people to help with a little bit of money for her and her mom, nobody helps. Her family are not willing to help her. They also, the uncles in America, are trying and they can't get anything. They retired now. So what do people want her to do? And I keep telling Peter Maher to take me home. And he keeps saying, no, you need to stay there. Because I am tired of this. I'm also tired of getting text messages, hate messages to convert to Islam, invitations to orgy parties, and people using my address and my phone number and all that like that. It's very, very hard on the family. And, you know, it's like, why don't I get married? But get married to who? Because we are all trying to get me into a job. And even if I go into receivership, then what? Then what do I do? Because it's not like I didn't take work at Future Shop, at Best Buy, at the retail stores. I took whatever was available. I took work in call centers. I took work wherever I could get it. And, you know, I don't know what BMO wants me to do, because when I contact people at BMO, they're like, we're looking for people. You go online and apply. So I don't know what else BMO wants me to do, because I have been applying for the last 2 years. I don't have to stay at Teleperformance. They don't expect me to stay there if they're not getting the clients and they're not getting the jobs. They will understand if I leave. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's not right that I should be in this position. And I know there's millions of people in the same position. But if somebody like James Newlands can't get doors to open for me, I don't know what else people want them to do. I really don't. He's South African. He went to UCT. He's not from Wits. But he's the head of the Americas. He's the head of the Americas at EY. So what more do people want James to do? Or Roger Federer? What do they want them to do for me that they haven't already done? Because those are endorsements. Those are endorsements in my reputation, in my work, in what I'm capable of producing. Those are endorsements. When students come here, the South African Consular General reaches out to me to say, Belinda, can you please come and meet with them? That's how much they value me. And yet I cannot even get a decent paying job. So what more does Canada want me to do? Because when I asked James to take me, he said, I can't take you. You have to stay here in Toronto. I said to him, but there's no work here, James. Take me to America. Take me to New York, or take me to Dallas. And he's like, I don't think that's a good idea. So what more do they want him to do? Phone him. Phone James Newlands in New York and ask him. Ask him. Because for me, I have been praying, and once my mom is gone, then what happens to me? Because right now my mom is helping me. My mom is helping me, and my friends are sending me some money for food, and my sister. So once my mom is gone, what happens to me? Because my uncle's not going to take me in. My uncle in Prospect is not going to take me in to live with him. He already told me he doesn't know what's going to happen to me. And their family here have got their own problems. I've reached out to them. I've reached out to ask if they can help, if they can lend me some money. But this is not a joke. If somebody like me does things for the community and helps people and gives of my life to this community, I want people to help me back. I want people to open doors for me. I want people to refer me to jobs, and to refer me to jobs that are going to open up good opportunities. Because I deserve it. And you know what? All those people who are endorsing me, Roger Federer, James Newlands, Charles Mafool, they also deserve to see me land in a good paid job because I did a lot for them. I did a lot for EY. I did a lot for UCT. I did a lot for WITS. I did a lot for the church here and nonprofits and HRPA. For 15 years, I volunteered for HRPA. They don't call me to volunteer anymore. I like to do it for them. They don't call me. For 15 years, I volunteered to make things better for the HR community. So I don't accept those text messages to orgies and to harems and all that. I'm not Muslim and I have no intention of becoming one. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic. And I don't hear from the priests in England anymore. I don't hear from Damien Howard and all these people. But I keep them in my prayers. There's some priests that keep in touch with me here in Toronto. But I just don't know what people want me to do. If you have something you want me to do that is reasonable and that you can suggest, then let me know. Because frankly, after growing up without my dad, I expected people to have a little more compassion for me. And I expected them to put me first, not people who grew up in two-parent homes who, if their things don't work out, can move back in with their families, and who have properties and who have cars and everything. I expected people to be a little more compassionate in this country. Because believe you me, if I could get a job at WITS, I would go. I wouldn't stay here. I wouldn't. And the growth is coming from Africa. So that's why if I get a job in Zimbabwe, I'm willing to go. Because people here don't like having children, they don't like getting married. The culture is the exact opposite culture to the culture in Zimbabwe and South Africa. It's the exact opposite. So it's not hard for me. Living here and going through this is hard for me. But to leave this country, I worked hard. I worked hard. It won't be hard for me to leave because I haven't had a good experience. And that's what I kept trying to tell James. It hasn't been a good experience for me. It's very sad. If Father Larry can put an advert in the newsletter for me, and I don't even get one person saying, yes, you can come and stay, be renting a room in a house, that's sad. I've been a lector in the parish for many years. I've helped Father Larry with Eucharistic ministry, with coordinating the children's liturgy. I've helped on the altar. I've helped with cleaning the churches. I've helped with decorating. I've done a lot. So, I really don't know what people want me to do, but I'm not just looking for jobs here. I'm willing to go back to South Africa or Zimbabwe, and I know there's problems there, but you know what? People here are willing to see me go live in a shelter, and I'm already on welfare. I need to get back into a job and to get work and to have things fall into place for me. That's what I need. And I appreciate your prayers, but I need the job referrals. This is too long now. And that post on the Mary Ward is not a joke. I looked into the shelter system. And for a professional like me, who's done project management, executive assistant, who's run retail, it's not fair to me. And you can say, you know what, there's many people going through it. I know that. But those of you who are connected to me need to help me. I know there's millions of poor people in the world. There's also people who are drug addicts and prostitutes who have done better than me in life. So I need those referrals, please.